Hey guys, I just hijacked Christian's camera. Nathan wanted to do a skit. I thought it was stupid. Here's the thing. We made a short film called The Reunion. I wrote and directed it. It's gonna premiere at Real Talk Studios YouTube channel on March 30th. Don't miss out. It's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait for
Nev,
you all.
what are you doing? It's time to film my skit.
Oh crap!
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 129. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you.
Today, we are going to be reviewing the highly anticipated Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yes.
Let's go. And also, we are recording on St. Patty's Day, so
Yep.
cheers.
Cheers. We got our Guinnesses, bottled
St. Patty's Day.
versions. So,
Kung Fu Panda 4, man. I gotta say,
Yeah.
the Kung Fu Panda franchise started at a point in our lives where I think they mean a lot to both of us.
oh, absolutely. The nostalgia hit, but also they've aged really well. I'd say the
Yes.
first two have aged really well in terms of its blending of comedy and genuine moments, these heartfelt moments from these characters.
Most definitely. So when I hear about Kung Fu Panda 4 after what year did Kung Fu Panda 3 come out?
2016, so about 8 years after.
8-year hiatus from
Yeah.
Poe. I was really excited. I was super excited going into this. We reacted to the trailer. Didn't really know how I felt about the trailer.
A lot more comedic than we would have expected, to be honest. But it is Kung Fu Panda.
And it looked like they were going for kind of like a meta, like fucking multiverse. Like every villain has to be in it.
Yeah.
And I was a little weary about that.
Same.
And I want to talk about my theater experience.
Go for it, man. I got one too, but you go first, man.
March break. The week I saw this, I didn't even think about this. I go on a Tuesday, which is how it's cheaper on a Tuesday. So when we go to buy tickets, there's only seats in the front. So now I'm sitting in the front watching Kung Fu Panda with a theater full of children, and the kids were screaming the whole movie.
Yep.
Which I kind of liked though. I felt like I was a kid again, experiencing it with the kids.
Yes,
it was a fun experience actually.
Yeah, it was like a lot of little kids being like, "Oh, Poe, the panda," and stuff like that, because it appeals to their demographic more than adults, obviously.
Yeah. Now let's get into the film.
Yep. I saw this too with a bunch of kids. I was like getting ready. I was like, okay, this is the fourth one.
Yeah.
I love the first two, and the third one, not bad, but definitely a slight downgrade in quality, in my opinion. So getting into this, I was watching it, and right off the bat, I was like, ooh, something's off. Something's like really off. This is too fucking quick. Like, I can't. Something about it seemed off.
It was quick, right? They
really fucking quick.
They slingshot you into the story, and you think you want to spend a little bit more time just like, what's Poe up to these days?
Right.
What's everybody up to these days?
Yeah.
And they don't really want to do that.
It feels like a side story. It feels like a pilot to a show, even though they did make a show out of Kung Fu Panda on Nick, which I don't think it's on anymore. I think they stopped making that show. But it really felt like that with the pacing and the jokes. Like, I understand this is supposed to be like comedic and there's a lot of humor, but this felt like they were shooting too many jokes.
Yeah.
Too many jokes to the point where I felt nothing.
Yeah.
When
I wanted to know what Poe was up to. I was really interested in what they kind of set up in the trailer, which is Poe now has to find a successor for him.
Yes.
He is now reached the master level. And I think I was really excited for them to explore it, like a wiser Poe.
Yeah. Which is kind of what it was trying to go into. Because I remember the third Kung Fu Panda, he acted a lot more mature than he did in the first Kung Fu Panda.
But I feel like he regressed in this one.
Oh, dude, absolutely. It was kind of like, what was it? Like a Thor Love and Thunder scenario where they made Poe dumb. Even like dumber.
They dumbed him down too much.
Yeah.
And it's like, if anything, he should be the most wise. Obviously, he's still Poe.
Yeah.
And you could do the food jokes.
Of
you
course.
could do the, whatever. There's a ton of material to still use if he's a wiser like master.
Absolutely.
But they just dumb him down to Poe from Kung Fu Panda 1. It
Yeah.
felt like he had learned nothing.
Yeah.
And he was kind of starting fresh.
Exactly. And that's a terrible way to introduce your character again, because it kind of like, not only does it show him to be stupid, but it's like there's these moments where it's like he wouldn't act this way.
No,
At
I
this
agree.
point in his life, he would be more mature, not like Oogway or Shifu, but very much like closer to their maturity. You know, he's realizing like, I was imagining, because my favorite part was the prodigy, like passing the torch.
Yes.
I love that concept, and I wish Poe was more mature with that. He'd be like, "Oh, this is how I acted when I started off, but
Yeah.
now I can learn. I can teach this person." And it didn't come off like that in the movie.
No, he's acting so childish, and I understood the narrative that they were trying to go with, where Poe felt like he wasn't ready to pass on the torch.
Yes.
But the way they showed that, he just kind of seemed like he was complaining. Like, I don't know, I didn't like it,
No,
and I felt
yeah.
like the premise was interesting,
Yeah.
and could have been explored in a much better way.
And I think it is also a disservice from the dialogue too, because I don't know if you noticed this as well, and I get it. We're old, like we're much older than the demographic that this film.
The
is
comments are ready to say, like, you guys are hating on a kids movie. It's for children.
Yeah.
We understand. But also, we have huge nostalgia for these
Yeah.
franchises. Like, time and time again, we've watched these movies growing up, and we know these characters well. And we want to see a good arc from them.
Yeah.
Just because it's a kids movie does not mean I can't enjoy it or critique it.
Yeah, exactly. And the trailers that were playing in the theater, a lot of kids were screaming for Minions. I understand, but guess
Yeah.
what? They were also screaming for Spider-Verse.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Verse is a movie that is a perfect example of kids and adults liking it as well.
And the first two Kung Fu Pandas are the perfect example, because
Yes.
you watch them now and they hold up. Why? They have silly jokes, but they have a deeper message,
Yes, exactly. It's more impactful.
which this film I think misses.
Yeah, it misses pretty hard.
So off the bat, you're like, Poe feels like he hasn't learned shit,
yeah.
and they're throwing us right into this new mission that he has to do. With this side character, Aquafina's character,
Aquafina, yeah.
who is I don't
Like a fox.
character name. Do you remember?
I don't.
That's
yeah.
the problem.
That's another thing too, is that a lot of these character names, aside from the chameleon, voiced by Viola Davis,
Yeah,
fucking highlight.
fantastic.
All the Kung Fu Panda villains are awesome. They're voiced by you got Ian McShane as Tai Lung.
Yep.
You got Gary Oldman in Kung Fu Panda 2. You got J.K. fucking Simmons in Kung Fu Panda 3, and Viola Davis. All of these people are super talented, but I feel like in Viola Davis's case, she's in it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
what
the fuck?
Yeah, I've always thought Kung Fu Panda voice casting is some of the best
Yes.
in DreamWorks animation.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. But you're right. I mean, Aquafina's character just doesn't stick.
No.
It's not as memorable as these other characters that we've known to love. And this is supposed to be the successor.
Yeah.
This is the new Dragon Warrior.
No.
We don't remember the character's name.
She's not as memorable as they wanted her to be
No.
because of the fact that the pacing is so quick. Even her own fucking backstory, they gloss it over so quickly. And in my head, I was thinking two things. One, they're glossing it all over so much that they want to go for the comedy. And two, oh, she's going to betray Poe. Like, I fucking knew that from a mile away. And I get it. You're going to do that. But like, this early on, I know. And then when it happens, I feel literally nothing, because it's like, you lied to me. I don't want to talk to you. And then it gets resolved in like 2 minutes.
2
like,
minutes.
like, what is the fucking conflict? What is the tension? I understand kids might not think of it in the moment, but I doubt they're gonna think about it. Like, it's like a Shrek the Third scenario, where the pacing in that film was horribly done because they thought the comedy would work better.
Yeah.
But you are not invested in these characters, so who gives a fuck?
Feels very similar.
Oh man.
It's just too quick. You know, they're hurrying up to lead up to this encounter between Poe and this chameleon.
Yes.
And in between, do we get some moments that I liked? Like one, for example, like when they go to that bar. And they have
Yes.
this bar fight. I thought that was a highlight.
The tipping of the house visually, that's very clever.
visuals. The fight sequence was fun.
Yeah.
The needle drops were fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. No, that's the thing too about this film that I really appreciate, is that it stylistically, it still has the heart and soul of the other Kung Fu Panda films. There is that, the 2D illustrations that they do as well is very in spirit of the previous films. So it's not like this film is like completely different from the other movies, but from a writing perspective, like I could tell from a mile away. Even the third film had more memorable moments. Like I can always imagine like the Panda Village. The Panda Village is so distinct to me because that's where Poe meets his father, voiced by Bryan Cranston, and you kind of see their dynamic. It might not be as strong as the previous two, but it's still an emotional moment that they give time with. I can't think of a scene here that had that emotional impact like the previous three movies. Not like really.
I mean, and Bryan Cranston, like his father coming along for the journey with
James Hong, the duck.
The duck.
Yeah.
Just felt like, oh, we gotta have a reason for these characters to talk, so I guess they're gonna be worried about Poe and follow him. It just seems so weird. Like, this man is the Dragon Warrior. They just hear about this chameleon guy, and then all of a sudden they're like so worried about Poe, like he doesn't do this all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they should have. Again, this is pacing.
Very shoehorned in.
They should have given more time because the whole. I think the reason why they were nervous was the whole village was saying, "Oh, did you hear about the chameleon? Did you hear about this?" It's like, why are people like? This is not like dialogue that sounds natural. Like I get it, you got to do exposition, but I feel like this exposition in this particular film was so forced that like nobody sounded normal.
There is such bad exposition in this
film.
Man. One that comes to mind is like when all of the bad guys are having a meeting, like a mafia style meeting at this table.
Yeah,
and they're like, we are the bad guys.
Literally. Oh my God. And it's not just that fucking moment too. There was a moment where they resolve the forgiveness part where Poe's dad and the duck and him, and like they're all talking and it sounds like, you know, you can't be mean. Being mean is bad. You have to forgive and you have to learn. What is this fucking PBS? Like, I understand you're going for a younger target demographic, but it's so different.
I understand it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
But you don't have the dialogue doesn't have to be like, okay, guys, here's the message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like, you have to change Poe. I'm like, bitch, I think he's changed in every single fucking movie for the better. Like, what do you, what is he? He's learned this so many times. And it's, again.
It's very funny how the message is you have to change, but his character feels more like he hasn't changed at all.
That's the irony.
His character feels more like the first one than any of the others.
No, exactly. And another thing too about this film that I noticed was I looked at the budget. This is significantly cheaper than the other ones.
Oh, how much? What is the budget?
So the budget for this is $85 million. Now to put that in perspective, Kung Fu Panda 1 was 130. Kung Fu Panda 2 was 150. Kung Fu Panda 3 was 145.
Wow, very significant difference.
Significantly low, and maybe that's due to the fact that like the Furious 5 voice actors aren't there.
Right.
Why? Because you got to pay them, and they're big voice actors now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were before, but like, you know, you have Seth Rogen, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, Jackie Chan, like David Cross. These people are fucking big now.
Yeah.
So they're like, nah, they're on another mission, kids. Let's focus on this. Didn't you laugh at that part?
Oh, that was so shoehorned in as well.
God.
He's doing this. He's doing that. Meanwhile, apparently, the whole village is talking about how this is the scariest villain ever.
Yeah.
But the grasshopper is out making peace with pirates or some dumb shit.
Yep.
Like, don't you think that if they heard about this danger, they would come?
You know what issue this has, just like other films? It's like the Marvel and DC thing where it's like, hey, I'm Flash. I got to destroy the end of the world or stuff. It's like, what about Superman?
Yeah.
Like, you literally have all of these fucking Avengers and Justice League people. This is the same thing with Kung Fu Panda. They didn't have a good reason to have them not be here until the very fucking end, of course.
Yeah.
Which at that point, I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's done. The movie's done. These characters, their arcs are so, like, they're nothing. They're really nothing.
I really wanted to like this movie so bad.
Same, man.
I really was so excited to see Poe again. And... man, you know, Jack Black does the best he can with
the material.
With the material here.
Yeah.
Is there moments that I found funny, like the one that's famously in the trailer, like the one where he's meditating?
Inner peace.
Dinner, please.
Yeah.
Dinner with peace.
Yeah.
Like
That's funny.
My theater erupted. The kids were like, "That's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life."
Yeah.
And I thought that, like, you know, moments like that work, but.
Also a waste in a lot of new voice actors. Like Kei-Hu Kwan's in this.
Yeah.
He's really good at voice acting. He's a great actor in general, and they got him in here. But he's so like All right, he's like a glorified cameo. A lot of these people are glorified cameos. Like Ian McShane as Tai Lung. I would have wanted like I guess like a Green Goblin, Spider-Man moment in No Way Home type of thing. That's kind of what the trailer was giving off, right? But it's more like Michael Shannon in The Flash.
It's tough.
It's like nothing.
Put him in a cage, give him 5 lines, and send him back home.
Literally. And he's just like, Dragon Warrior, you're not so bad. What? What the fuck are you talking about, Tai Lung? You fucking hate Poe. It's like, I actually don't anymore. Goodbye. And then they fucking like ascend into karate heaven or kung fu heaven. I'm like, okay, sure. They couldn't even get Gary Oldman and is J.K. Simmons back. They're just like standing. You're telling me they wouldn't say anything? Like, they're just like, yeah, we're here, I guess.
They've been resurrected from the dead. And they just sit in the cage quiet as Poe is having the apparently craziest fight he's ever had.
The most epic fight he's had so far.
That's my problem.
Like, what?
The trailer builds it up to be like the Spider-Verse. The stakes have never been so high. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to that moment, the stakes feel incredibly low.
Yeah. Like, at least, okay, I know you can't bring in the Furious 5. You brought in Shifu. Dustin Hoffman's in it. Why couldn't Shifu help out with Poe? Maybe there's a moment where Shifu's getting older, and the reason why he's passing on the torch for Poe is because he's getting old. He's going to be like Oogway. And maybe the ending of this film could be Shifu's sacrifice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be way more emotional and more distinct that you fucking remember? But it's just, they don't do that. They play it super safe in that regard.
Yeah. This is such a fucking Chat GPT script, man.
Yeah.
No chances. They take no chances. They really don't push anybody's arc. Like, they don't really change anybody's arc, or
not really.
I feel like none of these characters learned much, and I was really disappointed by it.
Yeah, it really does feel like Shrek the Third, but Kung Fu Panda. And that, I hate the fact that I had to say that right now.
I know.
It's such a, because Kung Fu Panda 3, again, not my favorite, but miles better than this shit.
Completely.
Because I remember scenes of like Tigress talking to Poe and like their relationship and like the Furious 5 and the Panda Village and all these distinct characters. Because again, the cute panda kids, their voice acting and stuff. But it makes sense in that regard. In this, it feels so forced that I'm like, all right, this is for the kids now. Like, that's fine, but
yeah,
just give us more than
also,
that.
like, if I was a kid, I think I would enjoy this movie at face value. Like,
yeah,
we're breaking it down pretty critically.
Same with Shrek the Third. I was the same way when I first saw that movie.
Yeah.
But then you watch it again, you're like, ooh, this is not like Shrek 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just, you know what another thing too is with DreamWorks is that they are still capable of making great films. They did Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Which came out of nowhere,
Yes.
getting amazing reviews. There's one where the expectations were quite low.
Pretty low. Nobody really cared about Puss in Boots, aside from maybe some diehard Shrek fans that loved the first one.
And that movie did so well that there's talks about Shrek coming back,
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah, exactly. And Shrek is like such a big deal for a lot of people that it's like, if they bring him back, that's going to be insane. With Kung Fu Panda, people have been hyped since like the last one came out. 8 years we've been waiting. 8 fucking years. And like, this is what you came up with? I feel like they should have put more money and thought into this.
Yeah, I feel like with this script, you should have just waited. Like, this is the script you wanted to make.
Yeah.
It makes me not even want to see another one. Like,
Same, yeah.
I'm worried that they're just gonna destroy my favorite characters one film at a time. And it sucks to say that because I feel like there's so much more story that could be told.
Yeah.
When it comes to like a kung fu storyline, the student becomes the master and can train someone. There's opportunities for arcs that spawn that stretch generations.
Yes. I think this movie also suffers from the fact that I remember the first Kung Fu Panda and even the second one, people died.
Yeah.
Like, people fucking died. Like, I remember the Tai Lung escape. All those rhinos, yeah, they all died.
Yeah.
This one, it's like, the distinct line I remember was the chameleon saying, like, if you talk back to me again, I'll push you off the stairs. I'm like, oh, the stairs. I wonder if they'll get hurt. Like, you gotta be a little bit more intense than that, especially with Kung Fu Panda. They are fighting.
I know.
People will get hurt. People will, like, the tension needs to be more, like, intense than that.
So,
really?
So disappointing. And now are we like locked into like, let's say they do make another one.
Yeah, I think it would because of the box office. It's at 175 million.
So this movie made 175 million off of a
$85 million budget, which is
it's
simple.
considered a success.
Yeah.
With a low budget like that, it was destined for success.
Yeah. So I think DreamWorks knew that. What
Are we locked into Aquafina as the new Dragon Warrior now?
the sad part is too, like you said, all these voice actors, they're not bad.
No.
But Aquafina is given this really nothing script.
I really actually like Aquafina.
Same.
I see a lot of people kind of criticizing
Oh, they've
her
been giving her hate for a while.
casting.
Yeah.
I've always liked Aquafina, I think. I think she's talented. They don't give her shit.
Yeah, no.
This character is so cookie cutter. What did you want her to do?
People fucking ragged on that voice casting. They ragged on the Mr. Beast one, which I'm like, who fucking cares? He said one line
Which I
as
barely even noticed.
like, it's for the kids. Oh, it's Mr. Beast. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine.
It's literally an Easter egg for the modern day kids who are watching Mr. Beast videos.
It was
all
like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He had a voice cameo in that too.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
People ragged on it for like 50,000 years, and it's like, who fucking
time.
cares?
To me, it makes sense. It's
Yeah.
a fun little Easter egg that doesn't ruin the film.
It doesn't.
It's not like he's a main character.
No, what ruined this film was, in my opinion, the script and the direction. This was directed by a different director than the previous Kung Fu Panda films. I forgot her name, but she worked on the second one and the third one. And there's moments that I imagine from the second one, like the flashback,
Yeah.
with his mom and him as a baby, and it's like, you're the Dragon Warrior, and they do the montage of him as a kid and as in the first movie, and the Hans Zimmer music is so epic.
I know.
And I totally forgot to mention how underwhelming the fucking score in this film was.
Yeah, very.
Holy shit.
Very. Aside from a couple of needle drops, it's very underwhelming score.
Yeah.
What this movie is missing the most compared to the others is emotion.
Yes.
There's no moments of emotion, and Kung Fu Panda was so good at using flashbacks or family dynamics
Yes.
to convey emotion in this silly kids movie.
Yeah. Like, again, we can go all day with examples, but I remember the first film, Tai Lung's drama with Shifu, Tigress's drama with Shifu, and like, you get not just Poe's drama, but other characters as well that you give a shit about. And it's same with the second one, Kung Fu Panda 2, because of like how intense all these scenes are and how emotional and still funny. You know, like him saying skadoosh at Kung Fu Panda 2 when he's throwing that ball. Dude, cinema. That is fucking cinema.
Cinema, truly.
When he says skadoosh in here, it was like he was advertising Pepsi, man.
Yeah.
I didn't give two fucking shits, man. I was like, wow, that's how you took the chameleon
He
down?
had to say skadoosh, I guess.
I'm like, oh, say the line, Bart. Like,
Yeah, that's
fucking-
what it felt like.
But the reason why we're so passionate about it is because DreamWorks has made so many classics, and Shrek's a classic, Kung Fu Panda's a classic, and both franchises have made duds. Like
I
Shrek the Third, and
know.
even Forever After. I'm gonna be honest, like I don't really give a shit that much. I don't want Kung Fu Panda 5 to be like the Shrek Forever After of this franchise. I want it to be like way better.
I know. And it's not like they don't have source material for it. A ton of these franchises stretch the material so thin.
Yes.
Where it's like, yeah, this could have worked for 1 or 2 movies, and now you're on 4 or 5, and it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda has the material,
The lore.
has the lore for multiple films.
Yeah.
The characters are well established. They did such a good job in those first few of understanding the characters and having unique characters that we all love for different reasons.
Yeah.
This could go 10 movies, realistically.
Here's my theory on what I want to see in the 5th Kung Fu Panda.
Tell
film,
me, yeah.
All right. Set it 30 years after Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah.
There is no Aquafina. There is no Shifu. All of them have passed away. There is a student, a child who really loves Kung Fu and hears about the legendary Po, the panda. And he's like searching for Po. And midway through the film, Po has a beard, has a family, and sees this child. And he's like, something about this child reminds me of what Shifu said to me years ago. Years ago. And he speaks to Uguay Shifu about it. And he's like, I have to train this child because there might be danger afloat. And a new villain shows up and they both team up. And Po passes the torch like that. Imagine The Last Jedi, but like good. Imagine that.
DreamWorks cut the check to this man right here, Matthew Neves.
You get the
because
emotional moment.
He already just wrote a better movie than this.
Like, fuck, man. The lore is there, and also like the characters from the previous films don't really get acknowledged all that much, aside from the Furious 5. Like, I don't know, like no mention of the Panda Village.
I know.
Like no mention of
Such cool moments of the past. Yeah.
right. So maybe Tai Long had another evil student or something. You could have added more to the lore. But we could go on days about this fucking
We're
film.
sad. We both wanted to like this one.
Yeah.
Really badly.
Yeah.
I wish we were coming here and saying, yes, another Kung Fu Panda banger, better than the third, comparable to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's just not the case. And my rating for this film is going to be a 5 out of 10. And that's a nostalgia heavy 5 out of 10 because I love Poe. I was just happy to see, Jack Black voicing Poe again. And that definitely bumps it up a few points. But objectively, this is a pretty terrible film.
This is such a misfire. And even with nostalgia, Nathan, I feel like they ruined Poe as a character in this film. And I want to forget it. And my rating's going to be a 3 out of 10. I know that's very bitter, but I tried, guys. We fucking tried with this movie. DreamWorks, you got to do better. Do not cheapen out on Kung Fu fucking Panda. This is one of your biggest fucking IPs that you have. Why are you cheaping it out and writing a script and a direction that's just lazily put together?
Yeah. We'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait, and there'll always be a new generation of kids to discover the franchise.
Exactly.
Because the first two are such evergreen films that I think will be played forever. So take your time with it. Make sure this is a story worth telling for the 5th movie.
Exactly. These are important films for kids, man. They're not going to be quoting Kung Fu Panda 4. They're going to be quoting Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2.
Exactly.
It's just like Shrek, man. Nobody fucking quotes Shrek 3.
No.
The fuck was in Shrek 3? I don't even know. And I saw that film. And
I know.
So, yeah, do better, DreamWorks. And those are our ratings and overall thoughts. Damn. I'm trying to finish this Guinness,
sad
man.
now, bro.
Yeah, man.
Bottoms up, bro.
Bottoms up, man.
We'll end it off there. Thanks for watching this episode of the Real Talk Podcast. Let us know your thoughts on Kung Fu Panda 4 in the comments. We're very interested to know what you think. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to your boys. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.
Skadoosh.
Skadoosh.